What's up out there? Today we're taking a look at a game called Gods, Death, and Reapers. There is a playtest on Steam. You can go request access if you're interested in it. This is developed by Wilson Studios, which is, yes, that Wilson Studios that developed Wilson, which had a hot mess of a launch. This game was formerly known as Project Pantheon, if you saw that name floating around. I decided to try this out because I wanted to see what the Wilson Studios was going to come up with next. And honestly, this is pretty much what I had expected from them, to be perfectly blunt. Now, this is what they're calling an extraction ARPG or an extraction RPG. It is Escape from Tarkov blended with Diablo, Path of Exile, something like that, whatever it is. It's got a very cool concept, and actually playing it, I'm not sure if I am enjoying it because it's what I thought it was going to be from the Wilson Studios, or if it's because the game is actually fairly cool and interesting. So I don't know. I'm here for it and I want to see where it goes. It is an alpha. It is absolute work in progress. It is definitely a Wilson Studios game in every sense of the word, but I'm here for it. I want to see where this goes. It's fairly interesting, and I put, I don't know, about an hour into it. I found myself having fun. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure if I was having fun because the game is fun and the idea is good, or because it was just one of those train wrecks that you can't take your eyes off of. I'm not sure. The game is very much an ARPG, and I think the graphics look pretty good. Some of it looks a bit, I don't know, store-bought asset-y kind of thing. Some of it looks really good. Some of it, not so much. I don't know what engine they're using on it. Like, it's not CryEngine like the Wilson game was, I don't think. It doesn't look that good. But it is a fairly nice looking game, and basically you go into this giant map, you kind of run around, you go kill some stuff, you get your gear, and then you go off and try to extract. Like, the map looks really cool. There's some really nice looking scenery in the background, and like, it's got a very good aesthetic to it. Now, the monsters you fight are kind of different and unique. The mode that I was playing in was basically what the Reaper or Death or whatever. He gave me this practice mode to go run in. You couldn't actually die, so I just face tanked everything. I just kept dying over and over, but you didn't have to like restart. The Death was like, all right, cool, you've died, we're not going to let that happen, and then you kind of go on from there. I didn't actually play a real extraction portion of it, but it was the kind of janky experience that I would expect from Wilson Studios. And just the fact that I could sit there and just take punishment without dying and then walk out with loot. And I got to do it twice because it didn't actually complete the first time I did it, which, again, true to Wilson fashion, it just didn't work like it was supposed to. So I don't know what the end product of this is going to look like, or if it's going to be any good or anything. And as far as like gameplay goes, I died 100 times playing this. You know, you couldn't actually die because you just get revived by death. But I died so many times doing this. It was kind of a frustrating experience. Like, the movement wasn't all that great. You were on cooldown. Your dodge roll was on cooldown constantly, and there was, you know, the enemies would attack you or be able to be on you a little bit quicker than you had dodge roll to get rid of or away from. And even beyond that, like, your abilities didn't recharge all that fast. So you go burn a bunch of abilities, you might take a quarter or a half of the health of the enemy off, and then your abilities are on this massive cooldown while you're sitting there fighting the enemy. And it didn't feel all that great. There was also some enemy abilities that would just flat out turn off all of your cooldowns, so you couldn't do anything. That didn't feel good. But I couldn't die, so it wasn't bad. You know what I mean? I couldn't complain about it. And the framework for what they have here is very cool. I like it. I like what they've got. I like the abilities. It looks like when you pick up a piece of gear, it's got different things socketed in it. Now, I don't know if you can remove the sockets or put your own socketed items into it, but they would come with certain things socketed into them. And I think that determines the order of the special, or the abilities on your hotbar down there, I think, because I went with one weapon on one playthrough and it had abilities laid out in a certain way. Once I leveled up a certain amount, I could click on that and it would unlock and allow me to use it. And then the second time I played through it, I had a different weapon and it had a different order, kind of the same abilities, but just in a different order. And I think that was determined by how they were socketed into the gear. Again, I'm not sure if I could change my sockets or not, or whatever, but there were a variety of monsters to fight. I ran into one or two different bosses here and there. There was dungeons to go down into. The dungeons were basically a room you'd go into and kill a bunch of stuff and then leave. It wasn't anything exciting that I saw. And you had to have a key for them. So you had to go kill stuff in the map and then get the key to go unlock the dungeon and then figure out what this key goes to this dungeon. So you might be on different parts of the map and have a key for something that's way over there. I don't know. It was an interesting idea. I think I would like to see where I don't get hit so much and take so much damage. I would like to see better movement skills. I would like to see this play a little bit better and not be so janky. I would like to see it to where this is not as buggy and bad as Wilson was. So I'm very curious to see where this goes. And I do think it's got an interesting concept to it. It's got a really cool looking map. Like I like what I see on that. And I like the idea of it. It just remains to be seen whether they can stick the landing, because if Wilson was any indication that this game is probably going to be very high concept, very low reward, if that makes any sense. But at any rate, I wanted to take a look at this one and show it because I spent a little bit of time on it and I wanted to at least show the game off. I thought it looked really cool. I had a good time checking it out, at least. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's because it's Wilson or because it's actually like a good concept and a good game, but I don't know. It was interesting and I figured I'd bring this video to you and show off the game and what I've played of it. I generally liked it, I guess I would say, and I'm interested in seeing where it goes from a gossip concept, if nothing else. But at any rate, that's going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.